Good morning, class. This is Mrs. Rowe. It is Thursday, February 20th. It's a day one. Happy snow day yesterday. Today you are going to need to scurry to get your research packet out, and you need to make sure that you think about what you have accomplished so far and what you need to do to get caught up if you're behind. We have some research due today, so the research for the unit that you did in your packet, the green packet on pages 2, 3, 4, is due today. You should have about 3 pieces of evidence for each body paragraph, and they should each be different types of evidence. So if you did more than that, that's fine, because you're going to get more selection to go through and decide which one's the best evidence. But you should have finished up at least 3. And it should have come from at least 2 to 4 sources. So that's what's due today. Class expectations. Since I'm not here, you know that I always expect this, that you show that you can listen, that you can follow instructions, raise your hand and wait, work quietly, and control what you do and say. Our agenda. So we had a snow day yesterday. You got 3 days off this week. You had a 5-day weekend, Lucky Ducks. So today we're going to be talking about structure of an essay, and you get time to work on a graphic organizer. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about counterclaim and rebuttal, and we'll have some work time. Your reference page is due tomorrow, and your graphic organizer is due at the beginning of class tomorrow. So you need a pencil. You need your green packet. If you need to pause this video so you can get those out quickly, then do so now. So we have to remember what the structure of an argumentative essay is. You know the parts because they're the same as when we did the essay in the fall. You have an introduction paragraph. It has a hook or an attention-getting device. You have background information about the topic. Sometimes that could be research that shows that this is a problem, that there is a debate. And you need a thesis statement. This is where you state your stance on the topic and you state your topic. You need 3 body paragraphs. And in your body paragraphs, you need to have a claim, and you have to link and locate evidence. So according to this website, startribune.com, and then you give your evidence. And then you need the mean. What does that mean to what you're saying? Explain it. And then what does it matter? What does it matter? Why does that prove that you're right? You also will pick a paragraph to put your counterclaim, so you have to be paying attention to that. Hopefully you have found some things that you feel like you can argue against. And then a rebuttal. Your rebuttal is how you shut them down. So remember the counterclaim? What is the counterclaim? Take a minute to look at your notes. Pause this if you need to. So your counterclaim is evidence that you have from the other side of the issue, and they have a different opinion than you do. It's the opposite as you. And so you have to take something that they argue for and say why they're wrong. The rebuttal is when you're saying why they're wrong. So you may use evidence, you might explain some things, but you only pick either 1 or 2 counterclaims to use in your essay, and we'll talk about where they go. You also need a conclusion paragraph, and your conclusion paragraph, remember, restates your thesis, and it also wraps back to your attention-getting device or your hook. So today, you're going to be starting your graphic organizer. Your graphic organizer, this is also on page 22 if you want to open your packet. You will get this from your teacher today. There is a graphic organizer that looks just like this, except for it's not yellow. I mean, the boxes aren't yellow. And you'll write your thesis statement in the top box. And then you'll put your reasons where it says claim number 1, claim number 2, and claim number 3. Then you're going to look over your evidence. and you're going to decide what evidence are you including and write it in. Excuse me. And then you have to decide which paragraph you want to put your counterclaim in and add in where you want to put that and what it's going to look like. At the bottom, try to find a new way to restate your thesis statement. This is going to be the focus for today. Now, some of you might need to finish up your research. You might need to get pages 2, 3, and 4 done before you can start this. But it's important that you get to this today because your research was due today in class. So thinking about thesis statement, remember we need to have our topic and our stance, and including our reasons is helpful too. So for example, up here I might, if I am saying that energy drinks should be limited, I might say laws limiting energy drinks would be wise and should be approved throughout the nation because these products bring far more harm than good to teen consumers. So I've written out my thesis. Now I want to look at my reasons, and I'm going to kind of organize my reasons in a way that makes sense to me. Maybe I will have my strongest reason first, and then my weakest last, or maybe I'll make sure my rebuttal is going to go into that last paragraph, or maybe I have 2 counterclaims and rebuttal, and I want them in the first 2 body paragraphs. So then I have to remember to switch those around. So I'm going to write my reasons down as complete sentences. The chemicals are slowly poisoning our youth. That was one reason. Restricting access to is simply financial. Might be a second one. And adults have the right to change laws in order to do what's best for kids. That's my third claim. So make sure that you write your claim and that they are well-written topic sentences. Avoid those weak arguments like, I think, you will see, that kind of stuff. We don't want that. Make sure that you are speaking with authority, like we've been talking about. So avoid those personal pronouns. You will then go to your research page, or research notes, and you can look in page 23 in your notes. But these are pages 2 and 3 of your research note sheets. And again, you should have 2 to 3 examples that support your reason for each body paragraph. Some of you might have more. It's okay. But remember, you're trying to support your main points. So if you put a reason here that doesn't support your main reason, that might not be a good one to choose. And that's why we said you should have, several, because you want to get as many in as you can to make it a strong argument. So 2 to 3 pieces of evidence. And you're going to write those in on the paragraph that has, or in the boxes on your spreadsheet that have types of evidence. All right. So your guest teacher will pass out your graphic organizers. If you're not done with the research, you need to do the research first. If you are done with research, you may get started on your graphic organizer. And those of you who are in 5th hour, you'll go to lunch at your normal time at 12:35 and make sure you're back into your seat at 1:03 and you'll pick up where you left off. Remember that you need to make sure you have that research done first. You cannot start the graphic organizer if you did not finish the research. So that's where we're going to stop for now, and we'll go from there the second half of class.